All right, so here's what I want to do today, right? I teach real estate agents and real estate professionals on social media. I host a social media marketing mastermind every Thursday. I do it at 2 p.m. Eastern time for my real estate brokerage. And a lot of people say that Facebook doesn't work or they come in with like a negative mindset. And I just want to talk about like, does Facebook work? Yes, no, maybe. It really depends. And I want to show you, I just want to address some points on Facebook. So let's go over to Facebook and think about this. When you are utilizing Facebook, just because you don't like it or you're not utilizing it for yourself, doesn't mean that other people don't enjoy it and aren't utilizing Facebook, right? So this is Facebook. You can see the overall interface. Most times when people use Facebook, you have to think about the way that they're using it. So a lot of people use Facebook mobile. That's usually with your mobile device. They're using it on their mobile device, so their intent might be a little lower within their mobile device. They might be relaxing with if they're using their mobile device. They might not be necessarily ready to do something specifically on their mobile device, right? So a statistic I can share with you is desktop users, meaning people that are on their computers, they pay more, they convert higher. They are more serious about using Facebook and different applications and websites when they're on their desktop compared to mobile users. So think about it. Like for yourself personally, if a company asks for like all your credit card information and you were on your phone, do you necessarily feel like typing that out or putting that information in? Probably not. You might not. Maybe you have it already installed on your device or whatever, and it's a few clicks, you do that. But that makes sense. Why desktop users convert a little bit better? Because it's they're in a different mode. Another thing I want you to be mindful of, I was doing some research a while back on like shopping carts, and a lot of people purchase things during work hours in their shopping carts using desktop and PCs at work. So that's another thing to be mindful of. Facebook, uh, when you're doing stuff, a lot of people say that Facebook doesn't work, and it's not that Facebook doesn't work. The strategy is usually the problem. You have to come up with a strategy that works. So I'm just going to go over a few things within Facebook. This is the overall Facebook, and this is what it looks like from desktop. Some people have never seen what Facebook looks like on a desktop. And on my screen, I have enabled what's called dark mode. You can switch dark mode in and out, and you can do that over here in the settings. I want to switch it to what people are used to seeing, which is light mode. So I'm going to disable dark mode. I'm going to turn it off. But this is Facebook. This is the interface, and this is typically what people see. So this is the dashboard. Over here, you have what I like to call hot buttons or hot links. And these are links that people usually click the most. They want to research. So me, that's my profile. If I click that, it would take me directly to my profile. So this is my profile. I have a cover photo. I clicked on it. That's my family right there. You can see that's my dad, that's my mom, and that's me as a child. That's my profile. This is a profile video that I have when I when I upload it to Facebook. Right. This is my profile. I have some content here on my Facebook profile. But I'm gonna go back, and when you go back, like this screen here, what you're seeing, this is called the Facebook news feed. And I do like when I'm teaching my presentations, I typically try to teach people like the different sections within Facebook. So each of the like over here, what I call the hot link, that's a section within Facebook. Right here too, these are shortcuts that I customize. This is section for me. These are groups that I visit often. Over here, I have some pages that I developed that I use in Facebook. I have that section here. Then we have an ad section. So we're talking about Facebook marketing work. Facebook marketing does work. What is marketing? So these two companies, they want exposure. A lot of marketing is exposure and reach. They're getting their exposure and they're getting their reach. Now, it could be relevant to me, it could not. It really depends on what they pick. They might just shotgun it out and want to reach any and everybody, or they might be very specific. They might want to reach people. So this one, it says sign up for crypto today. This is very relevant to me because I use PayPal and I use PayPal for my business, and I'm very familiar with PayPal. So it's working. They're getting that impression. And when you get into Facebook marketing, it's not always about pulling a lead or getting someone to call you, anything like that. Sometimes it's about establishing your reach and building some credibility for you. So PayPal is here. They're just telling me, hey, sign up for crypto. It's showing an impression. It's making an impression on me. So now I know PayPal has some crypto thing or whatever. So Facebook works. the marketing works. Here's another ad. Like, so when you're scrolling your feed, typically you see ads, and the way you can tell is by this option here. It says sponsored. So does Facebook work? It's working here. They're showcasing an advertisement to me. I can click on this or not, depending upon if I'm actually interested or not. I'm not interested right now because I'm trying to explain to you if Facebook works or not. So I'm not going to click on that. These are this, and then you just get to scroll the feed. You get to see different things that are happening within your Facebook feed and sharing your friends. But these are people within my sphere, as well as ads that is being showcased on Facebook, right? So does Facebook work? You can see I'm getting these. So marketing is some of marketing is impressions and reach, and sometimes that's going to be your objective. Other times your objective is going to be like lead generation or traffic to your website. Facebook definitely works. You just gotta have the correct strategy when you're doing Facebook ads. So something I want to show you really quickly. Here's another ad. So it's working. They're getting impressions. I might not be specifically interested in that, but how will this company know if I'm interested or not if they don't showcase their advertising to me? And it's also really cheap compared to other forms of marketing and advertising. It's up to you how much you spend into it and what your objectives are. So I want to refresh this and okay. The ad stayed the same. I was expecting these advertisements over here to change, but I guess they're not changing. So another thing about Facebook is they have all of these different sections available for you to utilize. And a lot of people come in Facebook and they just browse and scroll and they don't get familiar with the interface. But over here, you have different options available on Facebook. So right here is your pages. These are all of the pages that I manage. I can come in here and do different things with these pages. Here is the Facebook Watch area where they showcase a lot of video content for you that's relevant to you or maybe not. You get to come in here and change it around accordingly. Then they have this is probably one of my favorite things about Facebook. They have this marketplace, and this marketplace, people come here and they're very intentional about what they're about to do. So I like to call this marketplace Facebook. I like to call it Craigslist. I like to call it a replacement for Craigslist. So people can come in here. And the thing about this marketplace is you can advertise within this marketplace for marketing. So maybe you don't want to advertise on the original news feed that we saw, but you come into the Facebook Marketplace and you advertise here. So this, as an example, I searched for house at one point, and Facebook knows that they stored that information, and they're going to show me content relevant to that specific search. So you can see here house. Something else that they're doing over here is this is where you can advertise. So this is a sponsored post. So this company, Aldi USA, which is a supermarket company, right? They sponsored this post for me to see their recipes. So I can click on this recipe if I'm interested in that specific recipe. And they got the impression. That's working. It's relevant to me. They got the impression. I shop at Aldi. So somehow they must know that I could be on a list or they I'm not exactly sure what their marketing strategy is, but let's see. I can say, why am I seeing this ad? So Aldi is trying to reach people. So somehow they know that I'm interested in their store. Okay, they know they're trying to reach people they think are engaged shoppers. So they think that's me. They're trying to reach people who are near. So yeah, I've visited an Aldi store. I visited an Aldi store. I shop at Aldi actually, and it's showing me an age range. So it's trying to they're trying to reach people 25 to 54. If you click on these, you can see these. If you click on these, it gives you a little bit more detail. So Facebook added interest on your account based on your activity on Facebook. So Aldi thinks, based off my interest, I am interested in their product. And you can see here, it's showing me my interest. See the full list of interests related to this ad. I can check my interests. So this is Facebook marketing. They gave me that impression. So these are some of my interests. I can click on all interests. And it's showing me all of these interests. So at some point when I was interacting and utilizing Facebook, I showed interest in these things, and I can come in here and modify it. Like I'm not really interested in that. I can come in here and modify it to make my user experience a little better, right? But those are my interests. If I go back over to this tab, I can click on these things as well and see what Facebook is. So review all categories. they're coming up with content based off my interests. So okay, so they're trying to reach people, engage shoppers. So these are these are the interests. These are categories that Aldi selected and Facebook selected, and they suggested that content to me based off these things. So I don't go back. You can come in here and whatever you need to do, you can do to find out what's going on. But that's one thing you should get familiar with if you're interested in Facebook ads and whether they work or not. You play around with the ads, you find out more information about the ads, and you don't be scared to explore the marketing and the advertising that's in Facebook. So that was a sponsored ad. You can do the same thing in the news feed, but this all of this stuff is available. So here's another thing: marketer hire. So Facebook understands that I'm a marketer. That is a very relevant ad to me. They're getting an impression. I can find why I'm seeing this ad. It's basically based off my interests and the websites that I've visited. Facebook understands this. They know this, and this company, Marketer Hire, they said, Facebook, find me people that are interested in marketing. And I'm one of those people. So Marketer Hire, no, Marketer Hire asked Facebook to do that for me. And Facebook said, hey, yeah, we'll show that ad to Jerome because he has interest in your product potentially. So I'm getting that impression. They're reaching me. Never heard of this company before, but now that I'm on Facebook, they're advertising to me. And beyond today, I have heard of them, but I'm just saying in general, I haven't heard of this company, but now I'm aware of this company and they could, I could potentially do business with them because of their advertising. They have reached me. So um, that's, that is the video for does Facebook marketing work? It does work if you utilize it correctly. You got to go in with a strategy, and anybody can do this. It's not super complicated. Some people get intimidated by the strategies behind Facebook, but if you go in with the right strategy, maybe the right coach, maybe the right mentor, it isn't as complicated as you think, and it can generate you a lot of business. You can have a lot of success using Facebook marketing and Facebook advertising. So I just wanted to share that. I appreciate watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye bye.